Ladies and gentlemen, today's the day. Tone Master Pro firmware version 1.4 is out now. There is a ton of stuff in here for us to look at too. Now we'll take a quick look at the new firmware in this video, more like an overview. But in the upcoming weeks, I will do deep dives into each section. All right, let's take a look and see what the release notes have to say. We have 5 new amp models, starting with the Fender 59 Bassman Custom. Just like the classic 59 Bassman, but featuring a modified power amp that reduces bass and makes the amp's overdrive tighter for a more rock and roll tone. Fender Super Bassman Vintage. Inspired by the vintage channel of the Fender Super Bassman head, this all-tube juggernaut is a modern favorite among touring bass players everywhere. The Fender Super Bassman Overdrive. Inspired by the overdrive channel of the Fender Super Bassman head, the overdrive channel features aggressive but musical overdrive that can be blended with the clean channel for more definition and articulation. The Rampage Blue Line. Inspired by the venerably monolithic Ampeg Blue Line SVT, this powerhouse 300-watt bass head set the standard for seismic volume and low-end girth to become the go-to backline bass amp on stages worldwide when it debuted in 1969. 66 Flip Top. Inspired by the classic Ampeg B15 Flip Top, the indispensable 1x15-inch bass combo heard on countless R&B and rock records from the 1960s and well beyond. We have 6 new cabinet IRs and the corresponding speaker impedance curves. First is for the 4x10 59 Bassman Greenback, the 4x10 Bassman Pro Neo, 8x10 Bassman Pro Neo, 8x10 Rampage Bass, 1x15 Bassman Pro Neo, and the 1x15 Rampage Bass. We have 9 new effect models, starting off with the Greenbox 10, overdrive effect inspired by the late 80s cult classic Ibanez TS10 Tube Screamer. Mythic Drive 2, inspired by the silver 90s era Klon Centaur no-horse germanium diode overdrive. Bass Overdrive. Inspired by the classic Tech 21 NYC Sans amp, the overdrive pedal that became a must-have stage and studio favorite for bass players everywhere. Stereo Harmonic Tremolo, a modern take on the distinctive Fender harmonic vibrato tremolo circuit introduced in early 1960s brown panel amplifiers. Glooper. This incredibly inspiring looper is a totally original take on a looping effect not based on any existing pedal. EQ7B Bass Graphic. This bass-centric equalizer features 7 frequency bands for sculpting precise bass guitar sounds. EQ7W Wide Range Bass Graphic. This 7-band graphic equalizer for bass features additional wide-ranging EQ bands to further sculpt bass guitar sounds at the top and bottom of the bass spectrum. EQ10 Graphic, an extended 10-band graphic equalizer featuring additional EQ bands for even more control in sculpting lead and rhythm sounds. Virtual Capo, a polyphonic capo effect that lets the player transpose the instrument tuning up or down by 12 semitones, or half steps. New features and enhancements. Scenes. Yes, we have scenes now. Preset import/export, and I have been waiting for that since this thing came out. Added MIDI PC foot switch assignment type to send messages to external devices. Added MIDI CC support for external control of onboard tuner and effects foot switches. Block presets can be reordered via drag and drop within add/replace menus. Added support for multi-selection of presets within Pro Control Desktop app for bulk move, clear, and export within My Presets and Favorites. Added support for multi-selection of IRs within Pro Control Desktop app for bulk move and delete. Added support for multi-selection of songs when adding to a setlist within Pro Control Desktop app. Added song BPM option to song foot switch assignment screen. Added search results count indicator to Pro Control app. Replacing a model in a preset can now be canceled, returning to previous model and retaining all foot switch and expression assignments. Global foot switch layouts, either 6 presets or 3 effects over 3 presets, added to Songs view. Added live audition of active/inactive settings for parameter change foot switch assignments. Added several new tap divisions to delay and modulation effects. Added ability to overwrite existing block preset within Save Block Preset workflow. Added ability to reorder block presets from within Add/Replace menus. Mixer. USB 3 and USB 4 sends to DAW can now be set pre or post fader. Replacing a standalone cabinet will now retain selected microphone, low cut, and high cut filter settings. Added ability to save custom names for global EQ user presets. Added global option for default preset LED color. Added global option for songs custom label display. Fixed in this release. Fixed an issue with SwitchLink not always loading correct button state when using Pro Control. New presets are now added to the bottom of the favorites list. Fixed issue with several amp models popping on preset recall and when selected in Add/Replace menus. Fixed issue related to background noises caused by global EQ. Fixed issue related to exit tuner still showing on tap/tuner scribble strip after toggling mixer on/off with master volume knob. Fixed issue related to full SD card indicating backup was successful. Fixed issue related to fader jitter on global EQ. Fixed default settings for external cabinet block. And lastly, FBE-100 improvements to tone stack accuracy. Now that is what I call a major firmware update. We have new amps, we have new cabs, we have new effects. Now we have scenes, we have more MIDI functionality, we have preset importing and exporting, we have a whole slew of editing options and a nice batch of fixes too. Now I'll be going over all of this stuff in more detail in the weeks to come. But don't wait for me. Go ahead, download and install this firmware, and then install Pro Control on your favorite device. Try it out, push it, and let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if there's anything you don't like about it. But one of the things to try right off the bat, try Glooper. It is so much fun. And if you're still here, thank you so much for stopping by and sticking around. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about the new firmware, or about anything about the Tone Master Pro, drop me a line here and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Now next Wednesday, I will be having all new content about this new firmware. You do not want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have a fantastic week. Enjoy this new firmware, and I will be talking with you next Wednesday.